My name is Yasser. I'm a senior lecturer in pharmacy practice and a specialist infectious disease pharmacist working for the NHS in the UK. Today I want to go through two things. I want to go through my first paycheck as a pharmacist, a qualified pharmacist in the UK, and I also want to go through what I spent my first paycheck on. So I often ask the question of what people want to see on the MicroPharm Instagram page, and quite often people want me to discuss my pay as a qualified pharmacist working in the UK. And that's particularly because people want to see whether or not it's a career that they want to go into, and people want to have an understanding of how much you're paid in different sectors in the pharmacy world. So for those of you who do follow me, you know that I first started as a trainee pharmacist in a community pharmacy, and then I moved to a hospital pharmacy in the UK. So what is the name of the role as a hospital pharmacist when you first start to work in a hospital pharmacy in the UK? You're given the term junior pharmacist. Sometimes you'll have a role where it's junior pharmacist with on-call responsibilities. Sometimes you're given the role of junior pharmacist and you're shift working. So you have long days and you work 3 days on and 3 days off, depending on the hospital that you work for in the UK. I have plenty of videos about the junior pharmacist role on the MicroPharm YouTube channel. So if it's something that you're not particularly familiar with, I would recommend checking out those videos. So one of the first things that I want to talk about before we jump into things is the fact that there's a lot of videos on this channel where I talk about pharmacist pay. And I find this particularly important, and I think it's useful for people who are looking into pharmacy as a profession because it shows a lot of transparency. That's the main thing. The second thing is a lot of these figures are easy to find on the NHS website if you know where to look. So really, I'm just making it easier for you to find this information. This information is available for the public to see on the NHS website. It's no secret. What I'm really doing is summarizing it in a video to make it easier for you to determine whether or not it's something that you want to go into. Or sometimes people just find it interesting to know the salary of different professions. So for whatever your reason for watching this video, let's break down my first paycheck and what I spent it on. So in terms of my annual salary, I was paid £26,565 as a junior pharmacist working in the UK, and that's before tax. So how much does that work out to every month? That works out to £2,213 every month. Again, that is before tax deduction. So let's break it down, go through the tax deductions, see how much I took home on that first month. So in the UK, you have to pay two things when it comes to tax deductions. You have to pay income tax, and you also have to pay national insurance contribution. Almost everyone has to pay national insurance contributions, so normally you're paying for the two together. The amount of income tax I paid that month was roughly £201. The amount of national insurance contributions that I paid was roughly £184. I also paid towards the pension, and that was £157. And all in all, I took home £1,670 that month. That pay is with tax deductions, and I also had to pay my student loan deductions, which were approximately around £50 that month. So that leaves me with £1,620 to take home as a qualified pharmacist working for the NHS in the UK. Take into consideration that I was working within a hospital pharmacy environment, and this pay is slightly different to a community pharmacy environment. Generally, you'll be paid more within a community pharmacy environment. Now that we've gone through my take-home pay, let's go through my expenses for that month. This was the month of August 2017, which was my first full month working as a qualified pharmacist in the UK. At the time, I was actively calculating all of my expenses, so I know exactly how much I spent that month to the T. Particularly if this is the first time that you're going into full-time work, I would recommend calculating all of your expenses for the first few months just so you have a rough idea of how much you can put into savings. If you find videos like this useful when it comes to savings and budgeting your money, let me know in the comment section below, because it's something that I do quite a lot of, but I don't speak about it very often on this channel. So during my first month as a qualified pharmacist in the UK, I paid £400 towards rent. Considering we work in the UK, that's generally quite cheap. And then I paid £160 towards my car. So £61 went towards my fuel that month, and I paid £99 for interim service for the car. During that same month, I also spent £101 towards my medication. So that's particularly interesting because in the UK, medication is for free if you have a condition like type 1 diabetes mellitus. I have type 1 diabetes mellitus and have been diagnosed since 2001, and I generally receive all of my medication for free, except for one thing in particular, and that's the Freestyle Libre sensor. It's a flash glucose monitoring device which allows me to know my blood glucose readings every time I scan the sensor on my arm. I currently have one on my arm at the moment. So now it's under the NHS and it's completely funded under the NHS. At the time, it wasn't. However, it was having such a positive impact on my diabetes control that I was willing to pay for it every month. So that was £101 every month for 2 sensors. I also went away with my friends and I spent £100 on hotel costs. I was also paying £50 towards an interest-free loan for a projector. This is quite interesting because I had no reason to take out an interest-free loan. I could have paid for it outright. I just thought from a budgeting perspective, I don't know, mentally I found it easier to pay for it with an interest-free loan. Right now, I probably wouldn't do something like that. I would probably pay for that outright. But the projector I use for a lot of work events, for a lot of family events. It was £500. It gives me a 150-inch HD display, and it's something that I still have to this day. So that was 5 years ago, so I've been using it for 5 years now. So it was a great investment if I look back at it. At the time I thought it was a bit irresponsible, but I'm glad I purchased it because I've used it for 5 years now. So I also spent £48.12 on coffee this month, and that was prior to me actually purchasing a coffee machine. I'll speak about that later in later videos, about the amount of money that I saved just by owning a coffee machine and grinding the beans and making specialty coffee at home. By the time I was purchasing coffee, I tried to stick to 1 coffee a day. I tried not to go more than that. I tried to ensure that it's on a working day, but still quite a bit of money on coffee, but £48, so it works out to about £12 a week. During that month, I spent £40.18 on takeout, which is generally quite low compared to the amount I spend every month now, which I'll probably just cover in a later video. But that comes up to £40.18 for food takeout that month. During that month, I spent £25.75 on the gym and £20 for my mobile phone contract. I had a haircut that month, so that was £20 towards a haircut and my beard, and then £18.50 I spent towards going out. So it looks like I was really responsible that month, because that would be a lot more now, and I know that before even looking into that. So it looks like I only spent £18.50 for going out that month, and that doesn't include my takeout, which I included in a separate category. It looks like for the entire month I only spent £4 on lunch, so that doesn't include coffee. So at the time I was probably taking a lot more lunches from home, so that explains why I only spent £4 on that. And I spent £100 on groceries that month, so that comes up to £1,093. So anything that's left over would go straight into my savings. I wouldn't have a particular amount that I would save every month, just whatever's left over. I would have generally considered myself to be responsible with my money at the time, so I wouldn't really budget myself, but I would actively look at my spending. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you did and you want me to go through my expenditure recently, then let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video. Please do check out the YouTube channel, subscribe, like this video. Check out the MicroPharm Instagram and TikTok in the description box below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.